it's Tyler from Valve News Network. This is literally the first words I have spoken since I have awoken this morning at 1 in the afternoon. Hi, everybody. It's Tyler from Valve News Network. How you guys doing today? It's always a fun day when JC calls Electra to wake me the fuck up. Hey, Electra, it's JC. Oh, hi, JC. It's Electra. How you doing? Hi. Get Tyler fucking out of bed. Now. Tell him the thing's out. Boom, 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 boom. Tyler, wake up. The thing's out. The thing's out. What's out? I don't know. JC just called me immediately.
Nice.
What? Jeff Keighley told everybody last night, oh, it's almost out. Oh, it's almost out. You know, it was closer than you think. Closer than you think. 12 hours later. Thanks, Jeff. Jesus Christ. I would have set an alarm. Let's get going into this. This is huge spoilers for Half-Life Alyx. If you haven't played Half-Life Alyx, I'm positive there are going to be just absurd amounts of spoilers for this game. If you don't care, then let's get going. We're not going to be reading through a whole book that just came out for sale on a live stream. That would be dickish of me. But we are going to be just like kind of just skimming through this whole thing. This would have been more impactful if he didn't spoil it 12 hours ahead on his fucking Twitter. Introduction. Scroll to continue. Okay. We're just gonna skip this. Yeah. Who dat? Who dat? Is that the G-Man? The gift for burning. When I was 9 years old in wait. Jay Benson. Oh, this
nice.
guy. Okay. Oh, this guy.
Bit from standard analysis.
We've all seen that. Okay. He did a bunch of the animations. Fuck yeah. And I'm gonna be completely honest. I thought there'd be music. Okay. Yep. Same old story. Okay. Here's a meeting at Valve HQ about Half-Life Alyx. Look at all these boys. Last 2 level pass, tech, audio, all waves. Fix, vault crash, UI out of game, audio, censurables only, showstoppers only. They recorded Russell voice work on February fucking 19th. They recorded Russell voice work on February fucking 19th? That late? Jesus Christ. So it's February 3rd when these pictures were taken. Okay. Okay, as the developer circle excuse me. It would be wrong of me. As the developer circles up around the product lead, Robin Walker, it's not hard to be struck by the generations represented, and that the team is still predominantly male and white. Yeah, something Craig Coomer at Valve acknowledges to fix. A problem that has been kind of systemic and has existed the entirety of Valve's history. Yeah. There's not a single fucking woman in this entire group. I mean, I knew this, but there are veterans who shipped the original Half-Life more than 2 decades ago, next to those who worked on the equally acclaimed Half-Life 2 in 2004. Sprinkled amongst them are a new batch of developers who joined Valve in the past decade, hoping that they might one day get to help create a new Half-Life. One of the other people that's in the last category nervously stands off to the side in his Oxford shirt, gnawing on a plastic water bottle. Gnawing on a plastic water bottle. Gnawing on a plastic water bottle. Who gnawing on a plastic water? There's a woman. One woman. One woman, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry. They had one woman. This one board correlates to team member names such as Reedford with tasks such as finishing the weapon skins. Tristan refuses to play any section of the game without headcrab because it freaks him out in VR. It started looking better than it has for a while, so that's promising, responds Michael Copeland, an 11-year veteran at Valve who admits he hasn't shipped a game. 11-year veteran at Valve who admits he hasn't yet shipped a game at Valve because his projects keep getting canceled. Oh man, that's... Oh, there's Jane. Okay, second woman. Question. I don't want to be spoiled on anything, but was Tyler right? Sorta. Too soon to say. What? Some parts. Do any of you actually know? Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Okay. As it turns out, Valve has been creating over the past decade with little of that work publicly exposed. Half-Life Alyx, for instance, represents at least Valve's 6th attempt. Alright, hold on. Alright. Ep3, 2011, 2013, no, wait. Ep3, 2011, 2013, 2015, RPG, Half-Life 3, Half-Life Alyx. Okay. RPG wasn't an attempt? Okay. And that never got past prototyping. Because I literally have official proof that it existed. Now, for the first time, Valve opens up about the past decade behind its closed doors. And the canceled projects, the struggles to create new game... Okay, skip. Some of this project was about trying to give the people who joined Valve in the second decade the experience of what it felt in the first. Heard Walker talk back in 2010. Walker... Jesus Christ! Jump scare in a fucking dev book. Okay. Valve entered its second decade in 2006, and the company realized the core source game technology is starting to show signs of age. To continue pushing the gaming medium forward, Valve needed to invest in building a whole new set of tools and technologies. Source 2. Are you saying Source 2 started development in 2006? Because that's fucking crazy. Because the earliest reference we have of Source 2 is 08. Yay! You have the chance to show us episode 3 concept art, and we already have it. Apparently there is new stuff, though. The development team was struggling to find ways to innovate the gameplay, especially in the confines of the Source engine. As more of episode 3 team moved on to help ship Left 4 Dead and its sequel later that year, programmers like Steely saw the window of opportunity to build a new game engine when Valve returned to Half-Life for Source 2. Okay, so 08, yeah. Summer of 2010, Valve finished its first test of Source 2. Whoa. Okay. The plantation level, and there it is. Oh shit! Whoa, it's moving! What? Okay, this is from 2010. Yeah, so this was a clip all along. That image was just the thumbnail to a clip. Go inside! No. Thank you. Go inside the building. I saw the inside was modeled. Go inside the building. Never before seen Source 2 demo using Left 4 Dead's plantation. That's fucking nuts. That blew my mind because I just saw the image that I've seen thousands of times. Like, yep. And then I saw it was a video and it started moving and my mind melted. 2010. This was pre-Portal 2. Something that we do know about that, and I don't know if he'll go into it, but there was no gameplay. It was literally just let's rebuild it in Source 2, and that was it, right? And there was a button that you could go back and forth between the old one and the new one to see the graphical differences. It wasn't a game. It was literally just let's remake it. There was no logic or entity of any kind placed within it. It was all art-based. Everyone at Valve knew the investment in a new game engine was right in the long term. No one, however, expected the shift to trigger a dramatic slowdown in game production. Before it flirted with Source 2, Valve shipped a new game engine every year to customers between 05 and 11, ranging from Half-Life to Left 4 Dead to Portal. Games like TF2 and Counter-Strike were updated continuously, and MOBA strategy game Dota 2 is in production, but Valve's traditional games suddenly stopped after the release of Alien Swarm, which for a brief period was themed around Half-Life. You're just gonna drop that on me? In retrospect, I wish we would have figured out a way to keep building games and make new game engines in the background, but that couldn't happen. Didn't happen. Excuse me, I am dyslexic, so reading is kind of hard for me. The ambitions, I kind of just make up words and fill in blanks and stuff, so I just, you know, super sorry about that. The ambition of building a brand new game engine was no small task, but it paled in comparison to some of the, now I'm like really trying, of the other bets Valve was about to make. A series of high-quality, solid single multiplayer games defined Valve's first decade. A much grander ambition fueled the second, embodied by a runaway success of its Steam platform, which charges most third-party developers most. Who is exempt from the 30% rule? Yeah, Valve co-founder Gabe Newell began to have even more ambitious dreams for the next decade. What, brain chips? We're frustrated by the lack of innovation on the computer hardware specs, so oh, okay. All right, we're talking about hardware stuff. Michael Abrash announced was beginning to explore experiments with wearable computing. Yeah, and then they moved on to VR. Abrash was a snake. Soon, what was Skunkworks R&D project turned into a whole floor of R&D, headed up by an inventor and chip designer named Jerry Ellsworth, whom you fired! Name drop the coolest person you've hired in the last 10 years. And don't mention how Michael Abrash convinced you to fire literally months before Abrash jumped ship to help Oculus sell to Facebook. Fine. As Valve's hardware ambitions ramped up down in Irvine, California, a young inventor named Palmer Luckey, do not romanticize this, was starting a hardware lab of his own in his parents' garage, mind you. Okay. We're gonna skip that. Valve initially placed its bet on augmented reality, but by 2013, Newell had a change of heart, laid off a good portion of the hardware team, and did a quick pivot into virtual reality. You gonna mention why? No, we're not gonna mention why. The room, located inside of Valve's HQ at Skyline Tower in Bellevue, was named for a particular office set up to showcase Valve's cutting-edge VR technology with a series of black and white QR codes posted on the wall called Fidu seals? How do you pronounce that? I'm gonna call them fiducials. The wilderness.
What?
Hey.
Fiducials.
Thank you. To understand where Valve's game development teams have been over the past decade, you first need to understand, as said in a publicly available handbook, Fearless Adventurers, boss free since 96. Since no person holds, is that Gabe? Oh my. Yeah, we're not a cult. We're not a cult. He's just a normal billionaire with celiac disease. He thinks drilling in your hole is the future of technology. We're keeping that in our mind, right? Okay. As far back as 2013, hires at Valve developers began experimenting with potential game ideas built on the in-development Source 2 game engine. Some games fans would expect, others would not, such as Valve's first role-playing game. Okay. So, the true RPG thing, Dota. The dog resource gathering prototype turned full game for like 6 months, Half-Life. Okay. There was no Half-Life RPG, there was a baseless...
What?
Okay. Originally conceived as a new intellectual property, Valve's role-playing game, yes RPG, inspired titles by Monster Hunter, Dark Souls, and Elder Scrolls, people wanted to make an RPG game modularly in public, like shipping smaller parts of an experience over time and add features, explains to Jeev, the guy who made the whiteboards in Half-Life Alyx and told the junior developers that you didn't need to add finger tracking in Valve's flagship VR title, The Lab. Moving on, a developer who joined Valve to work on Portal 2 and briefly worked on an RPG project. This It's this. It's this. They're talking about this. They're talking about this. So inspired by Dota 2 that they're now taking all of the concepts from this and incorporating them into Dota 2. Moving on. Other potential Source 2 projects, exploration in Left 4 Dead. 2013, a team of nearly 30 developers dreamed of an open world Left 4 Dead 3 story set in Morocco! According to Doug Lombardi, self-proclaimed VP of PR, Left 4 Dead is, quote, absolutely not in the works. Quote, we've seen rumors to this effect of the last couple months. We did briefly explore some Left 4 Dead Next Gen opportunities a few years ago, but we are absolutely not working on anything Left 4 Dead related now and haven't for years. It's clear that some people are having fun creating misinformation to spin up the community and other outlets. Unfortunately for now, a new Left 4 Dead game is not in the cards. Do you know how many people in their article name dropped me? Okay. The game, set in Morocco, featured hundreds of zombies. Wasn't long until they discovered that Source 2 engine was nowhere near ready to take on such an ambitious project. Oh! You're telling me that Left 4 Dead 3 was canceled because people thought Source 2 don't work for this, we should move to another engine. And other people were like, no, we need to finish Source 2. And then that argument never finished up. Beyond RPG and Left 4 Dead, there was another Source 2 project. We were working on a single-player game. You could proceduralism and concern with crafted experience to create an open-ended way. What was the name of your team? Did your project have a title? Yeah, the project was called Half-Life 3. At first, work involved porting more than 350 entities from Half-Life 2 in the Source 2 engine. The core idea, half complete, was a rebirth of the Half-Life 3, more playable experience, sort of inspired by Left 4 Dead, which always fun no matter which way you played it. The game would find a building, seal up all the windows, there's no one in, put a citizen or prisoner somewhere in the building, and then populate the building with enemies. You, as the player, would have to find a way to get into the building, locate the prisoner, and route was naturally different every time. Conceptually, more procedurally generated skirmishes would fit between more crafted story moments that players had grown. I've never heard of this. Cool. Half-Life roguelike. I only ever learned about story beats of those stories, not gameplay set pieces other than the mechanical arm. Some of those crafted moments were likely to feature the G-Man. In 2010, Matt Charlesworth's team did a top-secret photo scan of Frank Sheldon, the man whose face formed the basis for the G-Man in Half-Life 2. The artists were quite chuffed when Sheldon showed up in the scan session in full suit and tie, resulting in 3D scans that served as a reference point for the team exploring how to bring the character animation to Source 2. Those leaked, by the way, as the old man scans. Oh, cool, okay. I gotta do the scan to unlock exclusive content, but I've seen this. Oh, I haven't. Oh, he's old. G-Man old. Wow. Hey, it's the old man scan. That's literally it. That's the shit that leaked. This is what leaked. This leaked, and everybody was like, oh, that's not real, including me. That's the, yeah. Whoever called it, good for you. Half-Life 3 suffered from a similar issue than Left 4 Dead 3 and unfinished Source 2. It was hard to build a first-person shooter on Source 2 at that time. There was no lighting solution, no save restore, no visibility solution. Oh my god. The Half-Life 3, Left 4 Dead 3, and RPG prototype simultaneously in development on an unfinished and stable Source 2 engine. The engine wasn't in a state for a full team to be on it, much less multiple times. Okay. What? While it takes a woman 9 months to make one baby, 9 women can't make a baby in 1 month. I mean, have we tried? In part due to the... Oh, what's this? Another team at Valve started work on a project with its own proprietary technology base, a voxel-based game engine now referred to internally as Arty. Never heard of this. In similar vein to the Portal series, transported players to manipulate the world and for constructive and deconstructive abilities, not unlike Minecraft. An early demo featured talking characters named King Kevin, voiced in demos by Eric Wolpaw. Players help the king break out of the prison by using their abilities such as tearing down walls, building bridges, and shrinking animals and objects to impact the world in real time. So Valve made Minecraft for a while. So in the face of Source 2 not being done, instead of getting Source 2 done, they said, fuck it, let's make Minecraft. Valve's diluted focus became a recipe for frustration bordering on disaster. The company entered a session of discontent so disruptive that Walker refers to it by a singular name, the Wilderness. 2013 to 2016. There's a period of time at the start of a project when you sort of don't know where you're building, especially if you're innovating. Will we have a script from this arty game? Whoa, that's kind of long. Why? I mean, I'm not complaining. That's fucking cool. Bush Baby, I'm about to pay you. Bush Baby, get ready for another commission. They worked on this until 2016. Was this one of the VR games that they talked about? Valve's diluted focus became Valve's expansive 15th floor cafe overlooks the Seattle skyline. I mean, if you know everything your game at the start you played before. Everyone on this team was closing their eyes and imagining a different vision for the project. That happens. When that happens, you're in the wilderness. You only exit it when everyone closes their eyes and imagines similar things. I think ultimately game development is a continuum of this. Sure, without managers, sure. With multiple projects stuck in the wilderness, Valve found itself pulled across numerous dimensions. We sort of spread ourselves too thin technologically, and then we got spread too thin game-wise. Okay, well, you're kind of romanticizing the most unorganized and frustrating period of one of the most successful video game companies in the world. Oh, it's the wilderness. By the end of 2014, Valve hadn't shipped a single-player experience in 3 years. Boy, I'm in 2020, and it took 9. While there were plenty of games in various stages of development, there were no sign of being ready to release to customers anytime soon. By the end of 2014, the Half-Life 3, Left 4 Dead 3, and RPG projects were all paused until the Source 2 engine became more stable. That's a little bit longer. There was, however, one Source 2 project that was about to step out of the wilderness. A demo to reveal the Vive, Valve's first ever VR headset. Ooh. Whoop. Oh, artifact. Wait, why isn't it going any further? Oh, is it because that can't go any? Okay. In the Valley of Gods, development paused on July 1st, 2019. Half-Life Alyx, Dota Underlords, Artifact announced. Gabe says 3 VR games that are in development. I was there! I was there when he said it! I was there! What the hell is Hot Dog? Borealis VR what? Borealis VR? What the hell is Borealis VR? Okay, we're just gonna move on. Hidden Half-Life. With a development period of just 8 months, the lab featured 8 VR experiments, including Longbow, Slingshot. I did an interview with G Barnett that I never released because he kind of asked that I never release it, where I asked him, hey, was there anything cut from the lab? And he literally told me, I can't answer that question, winky face. Coley walks me over to a computer where he says he wants me to try something. This is one of our experiments that we didn't end up shipping. Okay, are you going to show an image of it, or are we just looking at the lab? We're just looking at the lab. Okay, Project Shooter. Yeah. Series of quick in-universe gunplay scenes. You're starting to an unknown... Yeah. Think of Half-Life ride in a theme park. More of a simulation. Yep. Oh! Video of Project Shooter! Fuck yeah! Oh, shit. We have this map. This leaked! That didn't leak. Whoa, that's literally Half-Life Alyx. That's literally Half-Life Alyx. That apartment building leaked in 2015. Wow. Wow. Mounted gun. Oh, you know someone's gonna make this. So why did it never come out? Besides the internal trepidation around touching anything with Half-Life in its name that wasn't Half-Life 3, the decision to pull Shooter out of the lab came down to the project's limited development time. Even if we pulled the Half-Life IP out of it, we don't think we could have shipped it in time. If nothing else, Shooter inspired Valve to create something new in the Half-Life universe. Around the same time, the writer behind the two started work in a small team on another Source 2 VR project set within the VR Half-Life universe. Laidlaw wanted to build a VR game codenamed Borealis, set on the bridge of the Borealis, the Aperture Science research ship mentioned in Half-Life 2. Whoa. 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 Set on the bridge of the Borealis, okay. Players would explore the vessel as it ricocheted in time back and forth between the 7 Hours War, the conflict between the Combine and the citizens of Earth, yep. And a time set shortly after the events of Episode 2. There was even a talk of a fun VR minigame where players would fish off the bow of the ship. Ultimately, Borealis never gained much momentum internally and ended up in a pile of shutdown Valve prototypes. Laidlaw himself retired from Valve after that game. Okay. So Laidlaw retired after a Half-Life project was canceled. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. It's no big deal. It was Epistle 3. He was trying to tell us about it. It was literally Epistle 3. Alright, tired of their project names always leaking on the internet and stirring up breathless fan excitement, the developers simply called the project Hot Dog. Thank you for letting me know. But after a few months of work, Walker realized Valve was beginning to repeat its same mistakes with multiple small game projects that might get stuck in the wilderness and never ship. This was before I was a problem, so, you know, in early 2016, I was sitting in a meeting with the Vive team as they were about to release that product. And I remember thinking to myself, we as a team really should be supporting their efforts with a full-scale VR game. And the Hot Dog game was shelved, and in its place, the prototype. Fixing Valve. The second Shooter prototype for the lab had been shown. The Scorched. Oh my god, I can't fucking read, and this is such a bad example of that. By 2016, Half-Life 3 seemed like an impossibly large task that could never live up to the decade of mounting fan expectations. Quote, we always asked ourselves what new game we could bring to Half-Life, and for a long time, we couldn't answer that, end quote, admits Jay Steely, quote, but the idea of doing Half-Life in VR sort of answered the questions before we even had to ask it. A project like Half-Life Experience in VR would also give the team a forcing functionality to fully finish Source 2 for first-person action games, quote, whatever came after this product finally wouldn't have a tech risk, says Walker. In February 2016, 4 Valve employees, Walker, Casali, Fanal, and Copeland, started experimenting to see if Half-Life in VR would indeed be compelling, referred to as the prototype, or E1M1. Yes, and this was such an interesting game for Adrian Fanal to work on, that shortly after the development of this, he chose to work on, get this,
Artifact.
The demo was a 10-minute sequence developed in 6 weeks on Source 2 with pre-existing Half-Life 2 assets. E1M1 was a rudimentary... Ooh! Break it. Yeah! Oh, the key! That key model still exists in Half-Life Alyx. Man, someone's gonna remake this in like a day, because we have literally all the assets for it. Someone is going to remake this thing so fucking fast. Ah, it's the flashlight! That's literally the Vive Wand flashlight thing that just leaked. Someone can remake this. We literally have all the assets to do it. We have everything to do this. I think Valve knows that. Ooh, interactive stuff was early. Oh, you just fell. You lost all your health. They've on a physics prop and you die. Okay, go get the other key. Ugh. Okay, so this is awesome. But why would you want to remake this? Okay. All right, listen here, dickhead. Who said that? But why would you want to remake this? Deuce Primo. Back in 2011, I started dating a girl named Electra Barnett. At that point, I had never really been with anybody or had many friends, and she liked me, and that was really fun. The first time I ever went over to a girl's house was her house around Christmas time, and she wore this Victoria's Secret juiced berry perfume. That first time I ever met her, like hung out in her house, and I got to hang out in her room. Victoria's Secret later canceled that perfume like 6 months later, but the smell of it has been stuck in my head forever. If you go on eBay and you try and purchase that perfume, it's hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And I've actually been searching for that perfume because it's my wife now, in order to like go back into that period of time. Well, somebody on eBay had the genius idea of buying one of the big bottles for hundreds of dollars and selling individual vials for $50 each. Now you're asking me, why would anybody want to recreate this early prototype of what became Half-Life Alyx? The answer is because you can. $50. Moving on. Crowbar. Fuck it! Cut the crowbar! And it, holy shit, it has the same bugs! I have been working so hard to get the crowbar working in Half-Life Alyx. This crowbar from a prototype from 2016 glitches out in the exact same way. No fucking way. Look how it like freaks out when it hits the table. It doesn't know how to handle it if you go further past where the table's at. Holy shit. That's hilarious. Oh my god, and it just, holy shit, it just has a force push. Oh my god, okay, whoa, okay. So notice, when it just hits something glass, it just explodes. That's because on the end of the crowbar, they just put what's called a trigger hurt, right? So literally, when it just touches it, the engine thinks, it fucking punched it! Which somebody actually created thinking that's how you make a crowbar easily in a lazy way. And I thought, no, that's not how Valve would do it. I was wrong. That's how Valve did it. The crowbar never worked. Biggest plot twist of the fucking century. Are you gonna release that video now? The crowbar video? Now? Yes. Because now I know what we have fixed is actually what Valve had. I thought we were fucking something up. Not true. It's literally, I thought I had more faith in Valve. Oh, ours doesn't do that. That's pretty neat. That flashlight, though. The HEV gloves. No, hold on. No, they're not. They're the Counter-Strike gloves colored orange. Listen here, you maggot. Don't get lazy when making the crowbar. If making a crowbar results in a better game, then you must make a crowbar. You beat Boneworks yesterday? Boneworks' ending is nothing. It's a nothing. It ends nothing. We have that Glock. We literally have that Glock model. That Glock is in the game's files. Again, we have it. We have all of this. Oh, the P250, excuse me. I'm not a gun owner. Oh no, are they doing the Bethesda thing where it reloads itself? Yeah. I wonder, should I do the IGN GameSpot thing and just re-upload this video in its entirety? What's funny is if I don't do it, somebody else is gonna. You could Jeff Sued? You could Jeff Sued? Couldn't get a better picture of that guy? That's the best picture you could get of that guy. It looks like a picture I would post of myself. It kind of looks like me. Gary. God in a box. Okay. This is a beta quote. Yeah, Eli Vance powers up the slide projector. A white image flashes on the wall in his room where he had hung a white sheet. This is Eli Manor stuff, man. Holy shit. Whoa. Whoa, that looks fucking dope. Damn, that's fucking awesome. Whoa. That's cool. I kind of like that better. The crystal crab. Ooh, got concept art. That's not concept art. That's a paint over. That's in-game geometry right there. Now that's concept art. Whoa. Whoa. That is a cool fucking piece of art. Holy shit. One conceptual idea that excited the team was showing the Citadel, the Combine's massive metallic skyscraper headquarters under construction. Images of the Stockholm phone exchange from the early 1900s with hundreds of wires leading to the lattice work of metal served as an initial... Ooh, okay, yeah. This is really early stuff. You got the old gloves, you've got the old inventory system, you've got the old teleportation stuff.
Shit.
Who is the voice of this? That's not Merle. That's not Merle at all. Yeah, that's just that's some artist or something.
What?
That's Strider Canyon.
This, you're totally right. Yep, that's what this is.
Okay. Stay down.
Oh, that's Merle. No, that's Merle.
Yeah. Okay. Stay down.
Yeah, that's Merle. Okay. All right, yeah, it was just so much noise I couldn't fucking... That's Strider Canyon. Yep. No, this is so obviously photogrammatic models with like touched up textures and stuff. So the three-legged Strider from Half-Life 2, which featured prominently in the shelved shooter VR prototype, would make an appearance in the VR game by setting the game slightly before the events of Half-Life 2. Reedford and the art team dreamed up a construction Strider, which ended up in the final game. I remember asking Beckman, the designer of the original creature, are Striders just creatures the Combine jam bits of machinery onto? Reedford recalls, and he said that no, the Combine actually scanned the Strider in its natural environment and then recreate it synthetically. Whoa. That's awesome. That's so cool. That is so cool. That's my favorite thing I've learned so far. See, this always reminded me of BioShock. Man, that's loud. Fucking... Whoa. So this guy made it in. These other guys... Not fucking look at this guy, he's blind. That must be Jeff. All right, and then that's closer to what we got. Wow. I'm gonna fucking cry. That's beautiful. Whoa. 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 Combine horse with a stun stick jousting thing. Holy shit, this is so fucking cool. Wow, these were really inspired by the beta designs. I told you they were working with the cremator. I told you that they had Half-Life 2 beta era stuff and they cut it and everybody was like, where's the cremator? Oh my god. I never got to see it. They just told me they were working on it. Oh, why did they cut that? Can I zoom in? Wow. So, I'm getting goosebumps, man. I'm getting fucking goosebumps, man. That is so cool. Y'all ready for some HLA beta mods? Is that a tri-barreled shotgun? Really? Ah, it just looks like a normal double barrel. Where'd you see a tri-barrel shotgun? Oh, wow. That's a person. That's a person. They don't look fucked up. Okay. That's weird. And what you have to do as the player is to free.
Don't trust horses.
Don't fucking trust them. I've been telling you not to trust horses. No way. It all ties together. Jesus Christ.
Don't trust horses.
So this would have been 2016. Yeah. And you talk about how they had Barney. Yeah. Yeah, it's the retail multi-tool. Multi-tool to explain VR gameplay and early concept work. The team dreamed up a manhack hacking game where Alyx would grab a combined manhack drone out of the sky, hack it with her multi-tool, and throw it back at enemies. I don't know if anybody saw it, but I knew about that, and I thought it was in the final game. So if you go back and watch my gameplay, I try to hack manhacks a couple times. And I think I actually said, oh, when do I get to hack the manhacks? Yeah, okay. I thought they kept that in. You can turn down the volume in the About section. Ah. Oh! Hi, bud. Hold up, I'm getting like a fuck ton of ats on Discord.
Alright, looks like I found them. Exclusive on the Steam page. Here's the Half-Life Gold disc. Here's the Half-Life E3 build. Here's the Half-Life Alpha version from December 16th, 1997. Here's the Half-Life Alpha build from 10/25, 1997. Here's the Half-Life Day 1 beta. This was the day one before that. So, there you go. There are the discs. You saw them. No, I'm not uploading them. And
fuck! Disc rot, Jeff! Yeah, alright. Anyways, here's the coronavirus cure. Here's the... cancer cure. Yep. Here's the AIDS cure. Yep. Here's... some people probably don't know, this is unrelated, but the Beatles actually recorded another album before they broke up, but then didn't release it, and that's this. And here's, a lost chapter of the Bible where they explain how to solve racism. So there, you saw them. No, I'm not going to upload them. others are harder to convince. Mike Morski spent over an hour grilling Walker with questions about the project before agreeing to work on it. I quizzed Robin pretty hard on why this game was actually going to ship and not get canceled. I love you, Mike! I love you, Mike. He didn't just go, oh, Half-Life? Sure. He went, are you sure? Are you fucking sure, Robin? Do not make me make my best music again and then just have it sit on a hard drive. Are you sure? I love that. What's next? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Man, I skip Jeff every time I play through HLA now, not because it's bad. It's the best part of the game, but because I have anxiety problems. And I just can't get myself to go through that whole set piece again. Amori's original concept art design depicted... Oh! We've seen some of this. We've seen most of this. This is the only new part. Oh, that's new. Look at that. Look at that old Jeff. Look at old Jeff. Got some antlion. Ooh. That's cool design. I like that. Notice how he looks kind of cartoony and doesn't fit the art style of modern Half-Life Alyx? Yes, Barney, what is it? Wow. I'm in the middle of a critical test. 97, Casali joined Valve. Many of the original Half-Life designers have slowly retired or left Valve over the past 2 decades, but Casali stayed put, never taking a vacation longer than 2 weeks. But in the summer of 2017, he finally took a 6-week sabbatical before returning to Valve for coming back on his trip abroad. Casali realized that the team had assigned out all the levels during his absence. All that was left was the vault, the finale. It was a black box with no gameplay in it, and the G-Man, Casali remembers. Not left with many choices, he wrote his name on a post-it note and stuck it on the board under the vault. Based on the original story Cabal pitched, the finale was a jailbreak of sorts. Alyx would free the G-Man from the Combine's floating cage and thus trigger the events that would lead to Half-Life 2. Okay, so what are these? G-Man's journey through time, an unused concept for a red door sequence in Half-Life Alyx with the G-Man. That would have been sick. That would have been sick. Holy shit. Holy shit, though. Wow. Okay. They never did that in-game. They never made that in-game. The original ending before Wolpaw wrote what we got was not that. Oh damn, there's the old blind zombie. There's the wow. Good collision, guys. I want to see his model. Let me see his model. Man. It's so funny because like Valve knows that people recreate this stuff. Task board. All right. Adrian working on that blind zombie. Tom Bowie, main menu UI. Do we have a date for this? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Look whose name is on this board. Uh-oh. Look whose name is on this board. Okay. This is cute, I guess. Wait. Okay. That's an emote. Someone make this an emote, please. Oh, it's Call. Addressing the room. Okay, Walker says the playtest has been incredible overall. The sense of immersion in City 17 is off the charts. But there are problems, he said. Namely, the story and narrative just aren't working, and the company-wide playtest confirmed as much. We're going to ask 3 guys to figure it out. And he gestures over to writers Eric Wolpa and Jay Pinkerton. All right, welcome back, everybody. I hope you all had a great holiday with your family. We're just going to talk about a bit of our playtests. They went very well. Everybody thinks the level of immersion is off the charts with the City 17. The weapon interactions are amazing. However, one aspect that seems to stick out a bit in the playtests is the story. Rob Yescom, we're going to have to ask you to pack up your desk. The story you're writing is bonkers and way too depressing. Get out of here. All right, so instead of Rob, here's the guys that quit because we couldn't ship a game. They joined back because we're about to ship a game. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Wolpa, Jay Pinkerton.
Oh, thank God! Oh, thank God! Oh, thank God!
The entire narrative of the game was about to be upended. Every line of dialogue scrapped. The whole game needed to be rewritten from scratch while still keeping everything. Do you know how difficult that is? They went, hey, Eric, just come back. You could work from home. You know, we just need you to just touch it up. Just touch that up a little bit, okay? And then he gets there and he's like, okay, so here's the real deal. We're going to strip everything, and you need to rewrite the whole game, and we're not going to change any of the levels, and you need to have it done in less than a year. Thank you, bye! Writing the next Half-Life game was a daunting challenge, even under perfect conditions. These were hardly that. The writers were inheriting a game mostly set from a gameplay perspective. Somehow, they had to figure out how to alter the game's main plot, characters, and dialogue in a matter of weeks. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, and the game's supposed to ship in 6 months. My God! What? Oh, okay, we're talking about Shapiro. Fat men in skirts? Okay, Shapiro is a multi-whatever. He acts, sings in a band, the Dirty Waltz. And the 9-Pound Hammer. And even as the voice of the Staples, that was... He's the That Was Easy guy? Much to the surprise and delight of the writers, Shapiro nailed the performance in one take that lasted a mere 20 minutes, although additional pickups would happen throughout the rest of 2019. Mike, you absolutely nailed it. Thank you. We're good. We're done. Here's your $1 million. Ja Mero Kwai. Ja Mero Kwai. Like Kawaii? Jamiroquai. G-Man wasn't the only returning character that quickly headed into the recording booth. Oh, there's Merle. On March 14th, the team had its first recording session with Merle Dandridge, the actress who voiced. But by late summer, playtesters made it clear that Dandridge's performance was a mismatch. Fucking no! But okay, call it. Blame the playtesters. Blame the playtesters. Blame them. Nope! Fucking nope! I'm not letting that bullshit fly. I'm Team Merle. Merle is fucking awesome. That is not why she was fired. No, yeah, I have no problem with this actor. She did an amazing job. But Merle being canned because of playtesting is not the whole story. But okay. I'll probably get sued if I tell that fucking story, and that's bullshit. Morsky listened to the big beat music, drum and bass, electronica, ambient, and industrial music to inspire his own soundtrack. Songs like Nine Inch Nails' Leaving Home, Prodigy's Shoot Down, and Skinny Puppy's Ghost Man. So, fun fact about Mike and why he's the coolest fucking dude ever is he's well known for a band from the late 80s, early 90s. There's a band called Steel Pole Bathtub on a record label called Boner Records. I'm not joking. Boner Records, an independent record label from the late 80s, early 90s. And Mike sang. And of course there's video. There's Mike. There he is. This guy, that guy, would later go on to write this. Mike, I love you so much. Please let me do an interview. Bronwen Grimes joins the project in the spring of 2019. Canadian technical artist, trade, and clarinet player by hobby. Often seen crocheting in the Valve... What does that mean? Crocheting? Crocheting? Oh, crocheting. Yeah, online chatter gains momentum when the lab mistakenly includes references to shooter. Still, rumors persist online that Valve is likely working on some kind of Half-Life VR experience. That online chatter gains momentum when an update to the lab mistakenly includes references to Shooter, the prototype pulled from the game before release. Someone forgot to run a script we have to take out all those mentions. As a result, fans speculate that perhaps Valve is remaking Half-Life 2 in VR. No, we weren't. We're building some kind of Half-Life 2 shooting gallery. Few, however, predict that Valve is in the final stretch of development of developing a... Yeah, I was saying... Whatever. Concept art for the G-Man's cage in the vault. Ugh, okay. Come on. There you go. Okay. There's early cage, early... Oh, wow, that was worth it. Okay, so what's next for Valve? No Valve press interview goes without a journalist trying to elicit some kind of confirmation or hint that Half-Life is beyond Alyx. The hope, of course, is that Alyx isn't a one-off, but the start of a new era of single-player games from the larger combined team at Valve. Armed with the now finished Source 2 engine, and they still don't have water, and the void of trepidations or multiplayer, or workshop support that imports in Source... They're not done with Source 2. Privately, most of the team hopes that the next big thing will indeed be a full-scale Half-Life game built not for VR, but a game accessible to across all traditional gaming platforms. But given the scope of first-person action game, where development team numbers are in the hundreds, some at Valve wonder if the company wants to take on such a large project. Others wonder if VR games might be in their future, as Valve continue to push further into VR hardware space. Maybe there will be a surprise as well, including a top-secret new project that another small team at Valve has been working on since the first part of 2018. Citadel! If anything, the process of shipping Alyx has reminded Valve how much talent has still gone into creating world-class cutting-edge video games. The push into VR and perhaps other types of hardware will continue. Gabe and I have a lot of ideas on how to make hardware more like software. Oh god, please don't drill in my head. In press interview, here we go. Newell has teased brain-computer interfaces as one future path for Valve's hardware. I think we're done.
Nice. Gabe will bring us to Cyberpunk.
Trust horses.